Can you imagine a future, hopefully a near future, of paying just 14 Rand for a litre of petrol? Well, the Minerals and Petroleum Resources Minister, Gwede Mantashe, speaking at the Africa Oil Week conference being held here in Cape Town, saying that petrol and diesel should cost 14 Rand per litre, and that his department is in discussion with the National Treasury. The minister saying that he's spoken to the Minister of Finance. South Africa has, of course, seen 5 petrol decreases in the last month. We're still paying over 20 Rand a litre. Over the last year, we've had a cumulative decrease of about 4 Rand for a litre for the price of petrol. A lot of that litre price, comes off levies. Taxes and levies account for about 27-28% of a cost per tank. There's also the impact and the price of the Rand-dollar exchange when it comes to oil prices. But what is going to happen to get a petrol price to 14 Rand per litre? Dr Mathetha Mokonyama is with the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Good morning, Mathetha. Really appreciate your time. Is 14 Rand a litre, is that realistic, considering that a lot of what we pay for, up to 30%, is made up of taxes? That is the road accident fund, which is ring-fenced and goes to the road accident fund. The rest is also the general fuel levy. It's supposed to be made to believe it goes to maintaining South Africa's 700 kilometers of tarred roads, but that actually isn't ring-fenced. That goes into the general fiscus and can be used for any other things. Is 14 Rand a litre realistic in the South African context?
Good morning, Lester. Well, the minister seems to be making reference to the fuel levy and the road accident fund levy, and leaving out the rest of the other, levies and margins and tariffs. So it appears that's where the focus will probably be, and that he mentioned that it's about 6 Rand, cutting out 6 Rand to about 14 Rand. It appears that is where the focus is, and these are the levies that are imposed mainly by the Minister of Finance. So it will be good to see what the medium-term budget policy statement that will be delivered on the 30th of October says, about this.
From what I understand, the South African budget revenue, 5% of that comes from the general fuel levy. That goes directly into the fiscus. It pays for other things more than just roads. It goes to schools, hospitals, policing services, etc. Can the South African economy, can our budgets manage to see a drop in the general fuel levy if quite a large chunk of that goes to servicing other needs? Mathetha?
Yes. The fuel levy overall in the budget is about 90 billion. Then the road accident fund is about 48 or so billion. So altogether, we're talking about 138 billion that would need to be lost. I suspect that will not necessarily be, taken all out, of the system. In fact, they would need to be a lot more strategic in how they reduce these levies. It could be, for example, that we say public transport. We give rebates to public transport, buses and minibus taxis, just like we do with, the food sector, agriculture, the likes of Eskom. They get rebates already. RAF, road accident fund levy, as well as the fuel levy and the RAF levy. So it could be that will be the case. In fact, it should be, if they do introduce those cuts, I would say be a bit more strategic in how you do it. But if the intention is to take it all out without, being a bit more strategic about it, then you might see this, appearing elsewhere as a form of tax.
Price capping will introduce competition into the market, deregulating the fuel market, deregulating at a service station level could lead to more competition directly at the fuel pump. But the argument has been for some time now, if you deregulate at the pump, allowing more competition at a service station level, you're going to have service station owners trying to cut overheads, trying to cut jobs, in other words. Can the South African economy absorb those jobs if you're going to say it's self-service at a service station, it's a deregulated price, you may get a different price at this station compared to the one down the road. But would the South African economy be able to absorb what could be a potential loss of what's estimated to be 140,000 jobs in the fuel sector?
Yeah, that would be a shock to the system. If we totally liberalize, the price, it would definitely be a shock to the system. But what I heard the minister say is that this will still be formula-based, implying that there will be an element of cost recovery. They will allow for, wholesale, retail, cost recovery, and other, cost recoveries. So the focus will probably be on the levies, component of the price, particularly the road accident fund levy and the fuel levy, and it could be others, as well, like they have done, in the recent past, with the removal of what they call the demand side management levy. So the differential price between the 93 and the 95 octane, that 10 cents, they got rid of it, and of course other things as well in the recent past.
Reducing costs of fuel also means more driving, may defeat the purpose of reducing pollution. There's also a factor of South Africa's carbon credits. We might solve one problem for South Africans, but at the same time create another. Yes.
So the moment you reduce, the cost of transport without a strategic intervention, if you reduce the cost of fuel, definitely there will be both short in the long term increase in the kilometers per person, and that defeats the whole purpose actually. So that's what I'm saying. We need to be a lot more strategic in how we introduce these cards. We could even say, we reduce on the basis that we recover passenger numbers, on the rail system. And other strategic interventions as well. Just a cut for the sake of cutting, it really doesn't help us much.
Dr. Mathetha Mokonyama, really appreciate your time. Analyst for the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. 14 Rand a litre for petrol. That's what Gwede Mantashe wants. Of course, it would mean cutting on the levies, the road accident fund levy, the general fuel levy, carbon tax would also come into the picture.